All right, mic check, mic check. We're good to go. Hey, what's happening? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm surviving. How you doing?
I'm great.
All right, we'll just do a quick mic check. You hear me? I hear you good. I got the screen recorder on. So, let's see here. Let me just make sure I got everything set up, and then we'll start the record.
Okay.
Demore is what I want. You want me to call you?
Yeah, Demore is fine.
Demore. All right, and I am mic check on the podcast. It's Mike with 2 C's and check is in the Republic. Sounds good. All right, here we go. I'll do a quick intro, and then we will be set. Let me just go full screen here. All right, looks like we're all set. All right, we got the recorders on. Recorders are going. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all other genders, fenders, benders. No, hold on. Shit. All right. Good morning, stupid. Welcome back to hashtag 360 stupid. We are stupid people asking you smart people simple questions. King of stupid here, mic check, MICCCCCH as in the Republic. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, all other genders, fenders, benders. I am mic check. This is hashtag 360 stupid, and we have with us a special guest. Sir, who are you?
My name is Demore Morton.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Welcome to hashtag 360 stupid. You are the smart person. We are the stupid people. We're going to ask you some simple questions. How's that sound?
All right, that sounds good.
All right. You were deployed?
Yeah, I've been deployed about 8 times.
8 times? So second ACR was your first deployment, or?
Yeah, that was my first deployment, second ACR.
And what was your MOS? What were you doing?
I was a medic, so I think we started out with 91 Bravos, and then we moved to 68 Whiskeys. Then I became a flight medic at the end of my career.
Oh, shit. So you were with the second ACR on the flight medic?
No, I was a second ACR as a regular medic.
Oh, okay. Were you working the 8th station with us, or?
When I got there, I was part of the NBC jump team in 90, I think it was 98 when I got there. So then I moved from that to evac, then I PCS to third ID for been in, continue my career that way.
Nice. So you retired from the military?
Yeah, I retired in 2017.
Oh man, you did 20 years?
Yep.
How old are you now?
I'll be 41 in 2 months.
Damn, you're younger than me. You did 20 years, man. They kicked me out after 2.5 years.
Nah, I stuck with it. I got in a lot of trouble in Fort Polk, but I had some great NCOs with me. So I was just young, man. So I had some great NCOs. Captain Green now, or Captain Retired Green, or Major Green. I think she retired as a major. She was a sergeant then. And I had Sergeant Kennedy, and a few other people who, just took me up under their wing and kept me straight.
Good for you, man. Everybody who took me under their wing beat the shit out of me. I didn't come out okay, man. Nice. All right. Oh, well, everything works out the way it does,
Right.
But
right.
I went in looking for the full 20. It just didn't work out for me. But,
right.
I am where I am, and I'm doing what I'm doing. So talk to me, Demore.
Yeah.
So
if I know what you want to know.
You want to talk about the war stuff? You want to talk about what's currently happening, or what we were talking about on the the messenger?
Yeah, we can talk about current events and whatever we was talking about on the messenger. That's fine. Army stuff I really don't really indulge a lot. It just includes too many people that haven't given me permission to talk with it. So
okay,
I would rather
All right, let's talk about current events, man. Black Lives Matter.
They do.
Amen.
Definitely. I think human beings should matter, but right now we got to scream about those that people have forgotten about. And I don't even think it's a conscious forget. I think it's one of those things that you've been grown to think that this thing is more or less than you. And America has shown its face to be that way in some senses. So I think it was just time to tell people that it mattered. You know what I mean?
What's changed? Hasn't it always kind of been like this? I mean, we're talking like what, 400 years?
I think well, how you got to think, how would you change something that you didn't even create the environment to embrace? You know what I mean? Even though you made them build you something, it was built to your vision. So if you say you the slave master or whatever, and you get you some indentured servants, you're gonna make them build and cooperate on things, or to your design. If your design has nothing to do with them, it don't matter how many of them you bring into your environment. It's not made for them, and they're the ones making it. So like, eventually, when they're not just servants no more, they still got to live in what you made them build, which wasn't for them in the beginning. So that's the hardship of it. You know what I mean? That's the hard part of it. We just got to figure out a way as people to have these hard conversations about loving one another and trying to understand one another. And it's gonna have to have those conversations, because it was never supposed to be about war. It was never supposed to be about me hating my brother or my sister, whatever. It was supposed to be about us being able to have a conversation and find that balance. And if we don't agree, we don't agree. But that don't mean I hate you. That doesn't mean I love you less. It just means that we have a different way of seeing it. And that's good. That's healthy. That's a healthy conversation. So
why do you think it's difficult to have a loving conversation? Because I hear hateful conversation coming out very easily. It's easy even amongst friends to say words that aren't necessarily loving or respectful. You know how like some friends call each other, hey, asshole and jackass or whatever. Why is it so much easier for people, just in general, not race-based or just anybody, for us to say unkind words as opposed to kind words?
I think we've been kind of programmed to respond to what's easy. So like, if you're talking about something that I feel passionate about, but I don't have the maturity to express myself through my passion and emotion, then I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to my mind in my frustration. Like, I'm gonna always go back to my default. Some of us have learned to respond in default. So you got to change how you respond, and it takes work. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not something you just say, hey, I'm just gonna stop doing this. It's kind of like quitting smoking, you know what I mean, or quitting doing whatever your vice is. You have to have an intention to want to hear somebody else's side. You've got to want to hear it, because you can't be right all the time, obviously, right? Like, it's
yeah, I'm with you.
So,
what about self-love?
Yeah, well, you got to kind of understand where you are to even have that conversation. To want to know what somebody else up to, you got to kind of know where you at too, or they're gonna say something that you didn't even know would ping you off, and you will end up giving out hateful spews, right? So you got to know in some areas you're not ready for, and you should be able to say that as an adult. I try not to have a lot of conversation with a lot of young people, because it's gonna be emotional. I'll sense it, and I tell them I love them, and I end the conversation. But for the most part, you just got to always remember, hey, when this thing ain't giving out love, I got to stop it, because I don't need them to hate me. I don't need to walk away from here feeling odd about who I'm talking to, because we're trying to build. If we're not building, we're destroying. There's no in between. There's no middleman. You either building or destroying with a person, and like, that's just how it is.
If the love conversation is difficult for people outside of themselves, do we need to teach self-love at some point? Because I don't remember any part of my life anybody saying, you know what, you should love yourself. But I know a lot of people who say, oh, love me, love that guy, love your neighbor, love your God, love your school. Nobody ever said, hey, love yourself first, because how can I love you if I don't know what love is for myself?
I think that they do try to teach it, but I think it comes in the word of like confidence, or in words like boldness, right? And like the command in those two words that we don't discuss is, I have to know what I'm scared of to portray confidence in my hardship. I have to know what I wouldn't do to go out and be bold enough to do what I should do. Like,
wait a minute, say that again. Say that again.
Like, to be bold, right? You got to know what you wouldn't do, right? What you normally wouldn't do, to be bold enough to go out and do what you should do, right? Because bold isn't necessarily doing what the other person's scared to do. Bold is doing what you know you should do. You know what I mean? Whether it be right, be like, say I'm standing in a crowd full of Black Lives Matter people, right? And a cop is getting abused in the middle of that situation. Not that it would ever happen, but let's just say, let's go to the hardest of the situation. If I'm in that situation, we don't mean any harm, right? I will go and save that cop. Would I do that in front of my friends? That's boldness.
I see.
Or going to a historical event. If you remember Selma at all, the movie Selma, when Dr. King came across the bridge with all those people that were there, they just got beaten days before, and they were thinking they was going to take this bridge, right? And he kneeled down to pray. And when he got up, he turned around, even with the crowd behind him. It took boldness to do what he knew he should do. You get what I'm saying? So you got to do it no matter what a person will say about it, but you got to know yourself first. So when you say courageousness, be courageous and be bold, it's an unspoken command to say, hey, you got to know yourself first, though. Like, so I think they tried to say it. It's really, you just got to, I don't really know how you would teach self-love. You just got to embrace who you are. Look in the mirror and love, like, begin to appreciate who you are, minus whatever anybody else got to say. So it took a while for me.
A topic that I have absolutely no clue about, when I started getting in trouble with the law enforcement, it was something that, I was never a good soldier, but I was a damn good medic. So in life, I wasn't very, afterwards, I wasn't very, anyways, I'll just get into it. The topic or the conversation that's called the talk amongst families who, black families. First of all, let's get something I need to clarify. The term black person or black people or black man or black person, to me as a medic, there's no medical terminology that defines or any type of human on any color. So I kind of feel uncomfortable saying black man or black person. And I'm kind of confused to say person of color because we're all different colors.
Right.
So what would be, as a medic to another medic, what would be a term that would not categorize people in colors, but also give the due respect to all the people? So can I say, like, I'm a person of light color and you're a person of dark color?
Well, like the thing that we had the opportunity to experience that people don't get to experience in the United States regularly, is the fact that we just called each other soldier.
Right.
So the term soldier or warrior or whatever, whatever they're using at this point, it erased color. Now, I'm not saying we didn't see it. I'm saying we embraced the suck of whatever we was dealing with. So if we were all deployed, man, it didn't matter if you was white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. We all sucked in one spot. It didn't matter. Bosnia wasn't happy for everybody. Like, it sucked to be away from your family, your friends, not necessarily be able to call. If you was in Iraq, it sucked at a certain point, and we all embraced that one likeness. And it kind of removed our differences.
Did we really?
I did.
I did too, but
sure.
I thought I did until another medic messaged me a while back, and he said, hey man, he wanted to write a memoir, and he goes, hey, is it okay if I use your name and all this stuff? I go, yeah, sure. He goes, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I don't know how safe it is to say, but fuck it. He goes, do you remember leaving me a blunt in the Porta-John? I said, what? I go, no, man. He goes, oh yeah. So, and then he shared some pictures of Iraq, the same place I was at. I mean, we were serving together, man. But the pictures he had were of him and friends. I'm just going to go with black just to be easier for the conversation. Him and like 3 other black friends, So, and all my pictures had no black people in it.
Mm.
Now, I have never had, oh, you know, I'm going to hang out with these people, these colors, and this people. But looking back at it, that is what was happening. Now, I didn't do that consciously. The unit was set up to where my squad had only light-skinned people, and the squad that he was at had the darker people. Now, I didn't do that shit. I was just a private. But was that conscious? Was that unconscious? Did that just happen? But the pictures I had were not during duty. It was off duty. And my off-duty pictures were a whole bunch of light-colored people. And his off-duty picture was a whole bunch of darker-skinned people. And there was segregation in the military.
Yeah, definitely.
There was.
Don't take away from the fact that I'm saying I experienced a extremely high amount of racism while I was in the military.
Okay.
It's, you know, so it's not like, you know, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
when we're in the suck, when we're in the shit, then we're like, who gives a fuck who's next to me? Let's fucking survive.
Yeah, because a lot of the racism that I faced wasn't from the people that I was in it with or that I was training with. It had already been set high. It was higher up. Like, it was people that didn't want, you know, a certain amount of African Americans in this place. You know, if you think Special Forces didn't have an entirely visual amount of black Special Forces, black guys that was there. I didn't see a whole lot of black Rangers in my early 90s career. My late 90s career. So it was, you know, I know it was there. It's just, it's a thing about the United States that we have it's an unspoken, you know, it's there. And I think the way that we sit is just what we normally was used to. Being where I'm from though, I just embrace people. You know what I mean? Like, I embrace the person. Your color, I see it. I know it's there, but I try to get to know past what I see. I don't take people for what I've heard about them. I take them for what they show me. And if you show me that you're a loyal person, I'm not necessarily concerned on what you did to someone else. I'm more worried about how we gonna build. You know what I mean? Like, what brick are you bringing to this situation? What can I bring to yours? And that's really all I've ever really been taught. Do I see the hate? Yes, sir. I see the hate. I've experienced racism. I've been kept out of certain spots, positions. I didn't make certain promotions at one time because of certain things that were done that they didn't agree with. However, I always have to be you white, black, Puerto Rican, white, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to have to persevere. The first thing I would say we would have to do as a nation is to stop calling each other by color. Why don't it just say man? Why don't it just say this man arrested by police? You know, the fact that you will, you know, go above and beyond to make sure we know.
Video froze. You hear me? Check. Mic check. 1, 2. Hold on. You're frozen. No audio. Check. Give me mic check. Do you hear me? You hear me? I got no audio. No audio. Any chance you accidentally hit the mute button? I got no audio. Shoot. Your video's coming in clear, no audio. Oh. I got nothing. We're connecting. Still no audio. Good on video. I got no audio. No audio. Oh, damn it. Just when it was getting deep, man. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Here we go. I got audio now. No video.
Yeah, I got audio now. I got you now. Let me get your video up.
There it is.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that. Fucking Facebook,
no
man,
way.
trying to keep us down, motherfuckers. It's not gonna happen, man. We'll fucking do it one way or another. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no way. Yes, I think I was talking about.
So you had feelings of it was obvious to you that there was racial issues in the military. You had been you didn't get some to. Oh, damn it.
Hey, they messing you up out here, ain't they?
Yeah, I'm hard lined in, so I don't know what's happening. They're just trying to fuck with us, man. They kick me off of Facebook all the time, man. I get on I ban on Facebook several times. I get YouTube even YouTube brought down a video and then sent me an email saying, "Hey, are you okay? Are you trying to hurt yourself?"
Oh yeah, they'll do that.
I was like, damn, trying to bring a motherfucker down. Anyways, I want to talk about what's known as the talk amongst black families. You had it. You heard it from your family when you were young.
Well, I didn't hear it from my family. I kind of learned it. You know what I mean? I learned it from. I didn't grow up with my father, of course. So I just learned how from what I was seeing. I think I got to witness the Rodney King situation back in the 90s. So I kind of knew what crowd not to really put myself in. I kind of knew how to maneuver. I kind of knew how to run too. So I've outran plenty of cops in my life. So there's no real issue with that. But
you ran from the cops?
Yeah, I ran from the cops in the military. Like I ran so fast. This is on post and four post. I dusted like 4 units. Yo, you know, we used to run that golf course on Fort Post. So I dusted it. When I got into that golf course, it was over. It was over. So they got to understand. But, yeah, so.
Just a quick thing I want to throw out there. I was talking to a friend of mine. She is very, very typical white American Christian. And she said, why would they run? Why would they run? I go, if there was people with guns that kill people that look like you, wouldn't you run? And took her a good like 3 or 4 hours thinking about it. And then while I was dropping her off, she goes, you know, I would run too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Why would you run from a gang member? If you've never encountered them, why would you run from them? If they got guns out at you, why are you running?
Exactly, man.
So yeah, but yeah, with my sons, I've had that talk. I have 4 sons, so
wow, good for you, man. Yeah. How old are they?
8 kids. My oldest is 20. So my oldest.
Damn! I got no kids, man. That's awesome, man. Wow. I'm sorry. You said 8 kids total?
Yeah, I got 4 girls, 4 boys.
Wow, man. How does that feel?
It's great. It's a blessing for me. I get to see myself, coming back at me 8 times.
I hope you were a good kid then. No. That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, I've had that talk with him, man. But my youngest son is he's 8, and my oldest is 20. So I have a 17-year-old and I have a 10-year-old. So my 8-year-old don't get it. Why would they shoot this guy? Why would they do this? He has a lot of questions, but it doesn't really sink in that a human being will hurt another human. That's not what we teach him in school. So he don't get it. But my 20-year-old, he's there for it. He's very emotional about it, and I'm trying to teach him how to work through his emotions.
Can you give me the talk?
Yeah. So it depends on the person I'm dealing with. Like my oldest son is very emotional. So when I talk to him, it's more of an explanation of what's going on. So if we're in the car, I teach him, listen, whether you speeding or not, when they get behind you, pull over. pull over in a lighted area or an area that's busy with people. Continue on without speeding up. Continue on until you get around a lighted area, a place that you know got cameras, a Walmart parking lot, Kmart parking lot, something like that, and pull over.
Isn't that going to piss off the cops more?
Well,
I mean, I understand from your perspective. Be safe.
It's time to make. You got to make a decision. So if you're on the highway, and you know the next town it's 21 miles away, of course you're not gonna keep going until you get to the Walmart.
Right.
You're gonna pull over immediately. But if you 15 meters or 30 meters, 100 meters away from the Walmart, pull into the Walmart. You know what I mean?
Somewhere where there's cameras, somewhere where there's lights, somewhere where there's more people. Oh damn! The video froze again. Audio is frozen too. Oh, I got your video back.
All right.
Yeah, audio and video is good.
Okay. Yeah. So you pull into there and you ensure that you got cameras. That's it. You might not be able to get to your phone. You don't want to reach for your phone. You want to already be in position. Turn the car off. Put your hands out the window, or put your hand on the steering wheel. Whether they told you to or not, do it anyway. You know what I mean? That way you can start to de-escalate the moment from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to wait for them to de-escalate it because they may never. You know what I mean? And then you just follow the instructions. Keep your tone low. I taught him how to keep his insurance card at a position that's reachable without him having to do a whole lot of hand movement. And just keep your tone low. Follow instructions as much as you can. Know your rights.
What if the cops are escalating, or let's say a cop just rolls up, he's already fucking pissed, he's already yelling, he's already in the mood?
I try to teach my children to be thermostats, man, not thermometers. So what that says to anybody listening is a thermostat sets the tone. You know what I mean? Like if you go in there, you set thermostat in your house at 65, no matter what's going on, it's going to remain at 65. A thermometer tells you what the temperature is, so it responds to whatever the temperature is. So you never, as a man anyway, you don't ever want to be a thermometer. You always want to be the thermostat. You set the tone as you walk in the room. You know what I mean? Great men have always set the tone, man. So you walk in, you set the tone to how you need it, and you maintain your tone no matter what temperature another person takes, because what they do shouldn't make you come off of who you are, if that's truly who you are.
If they're beating you, if they got their batons out and straight beating you,
if they beating you, then we got to figure out how we got to this point. I'm not saying you're going to be able to figure that out why you beat me, why you getting beat. I'm just praying that my son don't get in a position where he went from somehow in the car to being beaten. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that happens, because that happens to everybody. I mean, not everybody, but that's happened to countless people in history, right? But what I'm trying to do is avoid that from getting there. So if from the cops I've spoken to or cops that I know, I have friends that's cops that went from military to being officers, and some of the guys they've encountered, they're like, listen, just de-escalate the moments. No different than the military. We had the de-escalate force. It's kind of like that. You kind of want to take the initiative. They pulling you over, so you want to make sure, hey, I don't need these guys to feel shaky about me. I may be on the wrong side of town. Somebody may have a car look like mine. It could be anything. So I need them to, hey, I'm cutting the car off, let them know I'm not running. I have my hand on the steering wheel, let them know I'm not reaching for nothing. I already have everything out, because it takes a while for a cop to get to your window anyway. So when they pull you over, just going to pull all that stuff out, have it out, and be prepared to answer any questions at a tone. You're not doing anything. Even if you're nervous, just maintain yourself, take a deep breath, and start answering questions as if you was at a promotion board. You know what I mean? Hey, it's this, that, and the third.
Okay, so
you got to get smart.
So there's been a lot of incidences where the driver did everything right, and still got shot. Like where that passenger had his hands up and said, "Hey, I'm a licensed carrier. I have a weapon. What do you want me to do?" And followed the exact instructions as the officer said, and still got shot in front of his wife and his daughter or kid.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, you're gonna have instances, man. You got to think. There's nothing perfect. It don't matter who we put in it. In every instance, in every situation in life, it's gonna be people there. That means it's not gonna be perfect. I don't care how you train these cops. I don't care how you train a officer, a SWAT team member, a soldier. There are going to be instances where the human being is the human being, and there, the cop may have been shaky. Cop may have never even encountered this type of situation.
Or
Swears
the
truth.
cop just wanted to kill another black man.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's the point we don't know about. We don't know if that's what he wants.
We do know that. There's videos and audio recording accidental, quote unquote, accidental recording of the cop saying to his other friend, I just want to shoot this black guy. I just want to kill a black guy today.
Well, I'm speaking more on the Philando Castile situation.
Oh, I was talking about the one, I don't remember his name was, but he had dreadlocks. He was in the car with his wife and the baby in the back, and he had his.
So the cop said that in the Philando, that's Philando Castile. Like, he was in Minneapolis as well.
Yeah. So we've had recording of cops talking about shooting and killing black people just to shoot and kill black people. I mean, this isn't.
That's wrong. I mean, that's wrong. I mean,
that's why that's what I was like. If you were giving me the talk, and now that we have so much technology and recording, and you're like, well, just be cool, and I'm like, well, this motherfucker just wants to kill me. He literally just wants to kill me. And they yell out, hey, don't resist. And I've had this done. Don't resist, so they twist your arm harder. Don't resist. And it's like, I'm not fucking resisting. I'm breathing. That's not a form of resistance. So what am I supposed to do if you come at me ready to fuck me up? I mean, they are literally out to hurt fucking human beings that they don't see as humans.
Let's backtrack for a minute. And then we're going to come back to this. Let's backtrack. And this is something I tell my homeboys, right? I got homies who still in neighborhoods or whatever to do some things. So here go what the picture I want to be able to paint for people. If you never have encountered anybody in a specific area, like I've been on Martin Luther King in a few states, but if I've never been on Martin Luther King in Compton, then I don't know how they're going to respond, right? So let's take, for instance, everything that you say to me, tell me that you a beast, you a monster, you with this, that, and the third. Yes, I can love people with my whole heart, bro. But I'm going to get out the car on edge because I have not experienced this for myself yet, right? I've heard me as a soldier, I heard plenty of stories from Afghanistan before I got there. And when I got on ground there, man, with all the deployment experience I had, it was a new experience to be shot at every day of my 18-month stint there.
Damn.
So for the people that told me it was a good experience, a pretty place, I have accounts to say it was different, but I have to wake up every day and take everybody we apprehended differently. So now you trying to talk about a cop who hear rap music, who hear a newer generation coming along and claiming that they savages and whatever, be you black, white, or whatever. If you start to take on what that cop has painted in his brain as the person that would say this, see, this is a psychological situation at that point. It has nothing to do with a physiological thing. It has everything to do with them being psychologically impaired to how they apprehend you. And it's going to take training. I don't have the perfect scenario for that. I have a scenario that says, as people, we should you a public servant. When you pull me over, I'm not guilty until you find evidence to say that I am, and then you can't tell me I'm guilty. I think that they got to remember that part, and they don't always remember that. It's not all bad cops. I don't think I have friends now. They ain't never on the list, but there are more instances that we're seeing now, right? Meaning that there are more that we don't see. There's more instances that we see it now where cops are doing the wrong thing, man. And I just feel like,
And here's my thing. Yes, there's bad cops, but the good cops are covering for the bad cops. So what does that make them? Doesn't that make them all bad cops?
I don't think it's all. Like, the word all, I would say you got to think of who knows. Like, say me an instance, right?
Okay.
If I'm a standard bearer, when I go back to military on this, if I never saw the dudes that was hanging out doing the wrong thing, bringing the standard bearers around, and they knew that this standard bearer would blow the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew who to hang around. You knew in the company, it was some people that was going to tell. Like, all they doing is telling and getting information, right?
Yeah.
So I would think the same thing would pass in the police station. Like, you know who's there to do the right thing, and then you know who there just to get a check. The checks normally hang around with each other and party and act like they don't necessarily have anything else to do. They're not ambassadors of being police officers. And then you have the standard bearers. And those guys, if they knew, I think they would blow the whistle. Like the guy that he wanted to testify against his partner in the killing of George Floyd, right? I think he is standard bearer. You know what I mean? Like
Where was he then, though? Where was he at the moment?
I think I don't know which one of the guys that it is, right? I think it's 4 officers, and one of them is testifying against the other one. So
Which is great. Which is great. But where were we? But when he was there, when it was happening, he didn't do what he should have done.
Right.
So, so I get it.
Right.
Yeah, he wants to testify now because he got caught. He wants to testify now because he got caught. He's looking at a death trial or a murder trial. But if he had not gotten caught, he wouldn't have said anything because he did not say anything.
But we don't.
The true test of man, like you said earlier, a strong man stands up when the wrong is being done. Not afterwards, not after he gets caught, not after he's looking at his own trial. It's when the murder, when the lynching was happening, that's when he should have stopped the motherfucker. Not after.
Yeah.
But again, the topic was the good cops not covering up for the bad cops, and you were telling me that this one good cop wants to testify against that bad cop.
Yeah, he wants to. You know, I think that's a step forward. He didn't do anything when it happened. You're right, and I think he should have, as every cop should have. You know what I mean? Or should have. So
and I know friends who are cops. As a matter of fact, my high school buddy did 10 years and he got out early. Now, man, this guy, I cannot even begin to imagine this guy doing anything dirty, but I talked to him after he got out and I said, hey, what do you do if you see a cop doing something kind of, not so right? He's like, well, it depends how bad it is. And and then sometimes if it's really bad, we'll just, have a talk with him. I'm like, man, what the fuck is that? How does that happen? Why aren't you reporting them? And he's like, oh man, you can't, you start reporting the guys and then they'll be like, they don't show up as your backup, and then they don't trust you. And then I'm like, man, how the fuck?
I mean, for any soldier, they should understand this portion. There are certain things you got to do. And I'm like, like I can see them being, especially like in the areas that's bad, Chicago, New Orleans, Memphis, Savannah, those bad areas, like you don't want to be the guy because you can get set up. You can see plenty of movies to where there are really bad cops and they use the gangsters to kill off other cops, or like the kid in New York that was shot in the staircase because he had blew the whistle earlier before. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. So how are you gonna tell me that there are good cops? Because they're either being killed or they're being pushed out. There's one cop who literally went to his sergeant and he said, hey, this guy's fucking up. And he's like, okay, I'll take care of it. And then he got the citation for fucking reporting him. And then he got fired. The good cop that went to his sergeant got fired because he didn't follow protocol on what you're supposed to do on reporting a dirty cop. How in the fuck?
Okay.
What?
Have you ever seen The Wire?
The
show The Wire back in the day, they had a show called The Wire based in Baltimore about the drugs and the money and how crooked Baltimore, Maryland was. It was a true story. So here go what I want America to really think about. Do you think that a crooked cop start in the police station? Or do you think that it comes down from a commissioner, from a mayor, from a governor, from your government, from your presidency, from your Senate floor? Like, there are certain things, there's certain areas that in your city that's going to be bad no matter what we doing out here, no matter how much we march, because it brings forth a financial ending. You feel what I'm saying? If I got poor people, then I got rich people. But you got to have poor people to have rich people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So as long as we understand the chessboard, then pointing the finger can start going a lot easier. I'm not pointing at cops to be so safe. I'm going to point to a commissioner who is following instructions from a different person who's following instructions from this. They
that
need
have
certain outcomes.
that has been chained from day one,
Yeah.
from fucking the first time we had this country, from the day before
Yeah.
we had this country. It's been
Yeah.
going on. So my question to you was, what's changed?
Ah,
400 years? What's changed? You have a right to vote? Great. What's changed, man? You're still being murdered. Your children are still fucking targeted. People that have darker skin, men particularly, are targeted by the people that we pay to protect us. You pay cops to protect you, but you ran from the cops,
I don't
knowing
think,
that your life was in danger. Knowing that your life was in danger, you rightfully ran to
I
protect
ran
your
from the
life.
cops. I ran from the cops because I was wrong. Now,
You were
I'm
wrong?
different. Yeah, listen, I was wrong. Man.
Wait a minute. Let me check my mic. Let me check my speaker. Mic check. What happened? Tell me.
It's true. When I got in trouble in the military, I was wrong. I got into it with a female's father on post, and I went a different. I went a different direction. Like I put some hands on a man I shouldn't have, and I knew I was gonna get in trouble, so I thought I could outrun the problem. That was one. When I was younger, I was hanging with the wrong crowd. The cops ran down on the spot. I had to get out of there. It wasn't even about them killing us. It was about being caught. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it was different. It wasn't,
Okay.
I'm sure there was police brutality in 97 and 96 and in the early 90s because we had Rodney King, but it wasn't as visual as you see it now. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
you
you're
see it
telling
now.
me when you ran, it wasn't basically for your life. It was to get away
Yeah.
with what
It was-
you.
Yeah, I was a criminal. I was trying to get away, and I could be honest. But there have been times where I've been pulled over and I've been scared. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know how it was gonna go out. I didn't know if I was, I'm leaving work on the military base. I don't know if I'm driving what could be perceived to be a dope dealer's car. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I just try to de-escalate it from what I do. What I can do now. If I still get killed doing the best that I can do, that's not on me. I'm just not going to do anything to escalate what's going on. I'm not going to, even when I meet a brother who may be in a situation and he may have a gun or whatever, if he drove down on me already, all I can do is try to do the best I can do to get out of there alive. We'll address everything else later, but let me get alive first. You know what I mean? Like, let me leave alive. So that's all I'm saying. So yeah, if people really want to affect what's going on, we got to start higher. And what's changed in 400 years? Nothing. I would really say nothing. You seeing people of color in different positions. I say people of color, I mean Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, everybody. You see people of color in different places, Senate floors and everything else. Here's the problem with that. The problem with that is I can have you as a senator, but if you don't control none of the money in the hedge funds that actually control America, you ain't gonna make a difference. And that's just the cases. When I got a senator on the floor who's been there 30-some years, and all of his 30 years have been racist years, we need to talk about that. We need to change how long these senators and congressmen are on these floors. Because guess what? If ain't nothing changed in the last 30 years, that's the problem. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, you got to talk. It don't,
Just because they let you sit in the white man's chair doesn't mean you're gonna fucking do anything other than what they have done, are doing, and continue to do. Because it's not the person sitting in the chair doing anything. It's the millions of dollars that are controlling the person sitting in the chair.
right. So it's not even about black and white. That's why I put up a post the other day and said, if you think this is about black and white, you know what I mean? Then you wrong, because it's about green, bro. This is about money. You know what I mean? Here go how funny.
That's
America- how
exactly.
we miss it when the a CEO of a hospital could have investments in funeral homes in the local area, or a pharmaceutical advisor also advises death gratuities. You get what I'm saying? Because they know what's going to happen
Yes.
on the end of these treatments.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the money. It ain't got nothing to do with you as a person.
American healthcare is about the insurance companies. It has nothing to do with the patients. It has nothing to do with humanity.
Yeah, because you got to think of how smart we are as an international being. Like, as many smart people on Earth, do you think there's not a cure for AIDS? Do you think there's not a cure for cancer? Even when Dr. Sebi brought forth the cures that he was healing sickle cell, what did? We killed that man. So you got to understand that big pharma companies ain't finna sit there and let you heal was paying them. Look at them, they $10 billion people. You cannot take down Pfizer because you find a cure for
Hell
cancer.
no. Hell
You know what I
no.
mean? Like, you got to be honest with yourself. And we don't want to think that way because our internal beings say, because we learned this as kids, people wouldn't hurt me that way. But the truth of the matter is,
Especially doctors, especially
Right.
lawyers, especially cops. These people are the good people. The judges. The fucking judge got caught selling children.
right.
You know how hard that must have been to catch the motherfucker and then to prosecute him? Because everybody's
But
like,
you know-
oh, he's the judge. Why would the
But
judge
you-
do that?
But now you got to kill the judge because guess what the judge can do? The judge can tell who he sold the kids to. So when we caught Epstein or whatever his name is, you know they was going to kill him. because
Oh,
you know
yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah. That motherfucker got videos of royalty.
Yeah.
Is he
They
dead?
got to kill him. Yeah, he killed himself. They said he killed himself.
Is he dead? Or is he on some tropical island all tucked away and still having fun with his big buddies?
Sir.
You don't think he had backup? You don't think he had multiple tapes in multiple locations and says, hey, I disappeared, those tapes show up?
Here's the problem with Epstein. Epstein was the dude that threw the parties, but no one knew he videotaped. You get what I'm saying? He the dude that knew and connected everybody, but was recording it to have a backup to say, hey, I got a little something to hold over your head. He
Exactly.
was that guy.
Yeah.
But here,
You don't
now,
think
when
you don't think
catch
he
him-
set up multiple tapes in multiple locations, so if that he disappears, that shit pops up?
Don't matter. I don't think he was that smart. I think he thought that he had enough clout to where he was gonna live the rest of his life doing it with his homeboys that he was doing it with.
Especially when you got out. Especially when you got out one time. The guy got caught for fucking trafficking children. They gave him fucking nights off. They
Yeah.
gave the days. Just go home. Keep doing what you're doing during the day and come back at night if you feel like it.
Right. So that lets you know. Like, but here go the thing now, when they kill him, right? All the tapes disappear from that night, from the moment it happened. The hours of tape erased everything. That lets you know that who he was after is up high. You know what I mean? Like, that lets you know. It happens
Fuck
so
yeah.
fast.
Fuck yeah. Oh, the cameras don't work. What? All 5 cameras don't fucking work? Yeah, they just stopped working.
We watch countless movies as consumers about stuff like this. We
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Scandal, we watch all that, and we forget that it's never just entertainment. People like use a. I'm not a what they call it, a
Conspiracy theorist.
conspiracy theory. I'm not, but I know that the only way to write a story is to have a dream about what could be reality. So that means that what could be your reality is someone else's reality, and they gonna make it that way. So you gotta think. There are people out here that are set on being millionaires and set on making their life right, like the Bushes. Let's take George Bush for example. His lineage. We took over Iraq for oil, bro. I don't care what no one said. If you look at where them fobs is stationed alongside,
Oh, imagine that mic went silent. Video's silent. Your audio's dead. It just died. Imagine that your audio just fucking died. Motherfuckers, man. Ah, shit. Tell me they don't know. Tell me they don't know, motherfuckers. Your audio's dead. I got you. Let's try to hang up and I'll call you back again, motherfuckers. They got us, man. They fucking got us. Damn. Tell me that's not scary. Tell me that's not scary.
horrible.
That's fucking,
That's horrible.
dude, that's fucking deadly scary, man. We talking about what we were talking about and audio video freezes.
I would say this then. What America can't see, man. In 20 years, I got to see some things that America I'll never see. That's what I will say to them. I play chess too. I spend my life playing chess.
Oh, nice.
So when I look at life like a chessboard. If I'm in charge, you might think my queen is. You might be looking out for my queen if you've ever heard of chess. Some people think that the queen is the most powerful piece, but for me, the pawn is the most powerful thing on the board. So I threaten you with my queen while I'm advancing my pawns. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's just the way it goes. So when I say that, I say in America, what you see is never what it is. It's never what it is. It's never as black and white as you think it is, because it's about money. And since you don't know
Oh
where the
yeah.
money's coming from, if you don't know where the money's coming from and who's putting the battery pack in the back of that person who committed the crimes back, you ain't never gonna know the truth. And the only truth you're gonna know is what we show you through social media, because you're not gonna be in the courtroom. You ain't smart enough to follow the laws that's coming out, because in the middle of all this pandemic, folks need to go and check how many laws they passed in the last 120 days.
Oh
that affect your
yeah.
children, that affect your money, it affect your children, it affect your health care, all this stuff that we've been sitting at home and could have had the opportunity to look at. We ain't even looked at. We more worried about Trump and what he's saying. And that's a distraction. Trump a distraction.
And he knows
what
it.
about your congressman? What about your Senate? What about your congressman? What about all that right there? Because it's a lot going on right now that people ain't paying attention to.
Yep.
And that's just truth.
And internationally.
Oh yes, definitely. You better check it, man. Look, we ain't never really had an issue with China. We ain't never had an issue with China, man. And like, we don't want that issue actually. If we think military wise, like it's gonna be a bloody fight. But also, when we think of economically, what we get from China as far as goods and services, that it could cripple us too, man. You know what I mean? But you looking at a Senate floor that don't necessarily understand that. They don't necessarily get that.
Okay. Yes, Iraq was partly for the oil, but I've done some more research, but it's all about the banks, man. The banks, the independent banks. Iraq had an independent bank. Iran has an independent bank. China has an independent bank. North Korea has an independent bank. Everybody that we call our enemy has independent bank. Because if you control the money, you control everything. And they don't want to be part of the World Banking Group. The World Banking Group finances all the wars. So if a bank,
only a few people.
And if the bank doesn't want the war, you don't have a war.
Right.
If the bank,
it's only a few people too. That's what people don't get. They think it's this big table of folks. It's only a few folks sitting at the World Banking top. You know what I mean? Like, it's a few people pushing the button, and you're gonna give them the outcome no matter what it is.
That's
so
it.
Them putting Obama in office did nothing for me. Them putting you know what I mean, whoever they put in office, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, bro.
At all.
Because you got to look at the direction and the directional flow of what we trying to do. When Kennedy went against what America was trying to do, they took his head off. Y'all need to understand that. Y'all need to understand that. Go back and read your history books. If you want to go as far back as being crooked, when we started setting up casinos and stuff in Nevada, and what laws went in place first, and did right before they got ready to kill Kennedy. Look at what happened. I'm telling you, man.
Every president, including Lincoln, that had assassinated or been a tried assassination, all mentioned getting out of the World Banking Group. Like that. Our president, the most protected human being on the fucking face of the planet, dead, gone, threatened.
For 0.3 seconds was not protected. Somehow he could tell his squad to leave him alone.
Kennedy.
Somehow Kennedy riding down the street, an unprotected street.
Did you see this? The Secret Service agent said we don't need the guy in the back, because they always had two guys in the back and then several guys around. But the two guys in the back were told, not this time. Go ahead. And there's a video of them going like, what?
They didn't even take the airspace. That's something to understand too. There was no airspace taken either. So they didn't have hot codes on high rises. They didn't know nothing about what was going on that route. That route was an uncovered route. That's all I'm saying. It never happens in history, man.
Never, man. Never.
Anybody military understands. We know hot code on any route we putting high profile people on. When the president flying to Korea, he takes up the airspace to the point where you can't even evacuate patients from the LZ down. You got to go around. You got to go around the bubble. It take almost 25 more minutes. It take 15 minutes to get from Casey to Seoul. 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute flight. When President Obama came to Korea when I was there, it took us 25 minutes to get a patient from Casey to sold. Bro,
And-
that's unheard of.
And they say
So-
they say human life's the most important thing. I don't think so.
No. Whose human life? That's the thing. The only human life that's going to be more important than anything to people is the person with the dollar bill, bro. And the person that's been put in charge of that mission. When that mission's over, on every movie you've seen, the guy who was doing the most gets killed in the end because they got to cut ties. Period. No one leaves alive, bro. I don't care what you're saying. Like, I get it. I get everybody doing these things, but all I can focus on are the people at the bottom of the bowl with me. Because we all at the bottom of the bowl unless we in hedge funds. We all at the bottom of this bowl. So we got to love each other because guess what? We in the same house fighting each other.
We're all in the
Same
same
house.
bus being driven into a crash over and over again, and we just keep paying the fucking people that we vote for to go get another bus driver that's gonna wreck us right into another fucking wreck, and then we all get wrecked and we all be like, what happened? Why are we wrecked again?
Right.
And then we all get out of the bus, we all go pay for the bus to get fixed again. We keep paying these servants who have more money than us, who we house better than the houses we live in, that have better health care than we can afford for our children. That's my servant. They're serving me. How does that work? If I have a maid and she fucking quits and gets a fucking a chauffeur and gets a castle and gets a multi-million book deal, what does that make me? If what does that make me?
You become the consumer.
We're stupid. That's what it is. We're stupid because we pay our servants more than we could afford for our own self. How does that work? Why do they get a mansion? Why don't they live in the housing that the poor humans live, the poor Americans live? Why don't they only eat the food that the food stamp provides? Why do they have such a luxurious budget that we pay for?
Well, the thing I think, and I got to get off here in a minute. But the thing we always got to remember is this, man. As long as money is the root to why we do what we do, we'll never be able to love each other. If money comes before anything in your life, then you can never look at your brother and say him equal anyway, because you're gonna start sizing him up by what he drive, what he wearing, how he look to you. Is he cut? Is he clean? But if you love people, when you see even the poorest person, you still see the heart in that person. And that's a self-check for whoever listens to this, whoever sees this. If you look at people and the first thing you do is size up who they are, you don't love people. And that's just it. And I'm not saying that we don't do it subconsciously. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if that determines how you act toward a person, then you hate people and you got to check yourself. That's a self-check person. You know what I mean? It's a self-check situation. If you look at people and from what you see, you determine whether you're going to love or hate them, you suck. Period.
One more topic just before you go. Slavery.
Oh, man.
Slavery okay?
No.
You can't fathom
No.
you can't fathom any way where slavery would be okay or beneficial or helpful in any way?
Well, it depends on how you define it now, because I'm smart enough to know that it can be taken a few different ways. To have an indentured servant,
Yes.
right? If you got to remove that person from their origin, their situation, with them not having any rights. And if you got somebody that comes in and like a maid or somebody for your house, and they can come and go as they please, they got benefits, then it's like a job. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's
So
not
if you have
slavery
an employee-
whatsoever. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about slavery.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being
You
in
gotta-
chains, going to work
No.
with. That's not
No.
okay. In no way is that okay.
No way.
So slavery is still legal.
I mean, well, hell, they have it. Look at prisons.
The 13th Amendment justifies slavery as a form of punishment. It didn't abolish slavery. It justified
Right.
slavery for not one group of people, but all people.
Right. So you look at some of these, like I'm in Tennessee. You get hard labor here, and they chain you up and put you out in the cotton field somewhere.
So again,
Or
Is
Louisiana,
slavery okay?
places like that. No, I don't think it's okay. Still, I really don't care what the amendments say. I'm more about
what humane,
just
what
knowing
reality
that-
is.
Right.
So-
Well,
So we fought for the Constitution. We fought to protect this country. We still have slaves in this country. What we fought for was to protect slavery today.
yeah. Yeah. I know that at this point. I think. Let me be honest with people who listen. When I joined, man, I couldn't recite the Constitution to save my life.
Same here, man. Same here.
Listen,
I didn't. You know what? To be honest with you, I didn't know shit about the Constitution until I started getting arrested after the war.
Yeah, I don't want people that listen to think for a minute that there's soldiers sitting over there. Like, nah, I know there are soldiers that know it and they ain't super patriotic, and I love them too. However, a good majority of us have the same demographics. We come from broken homes or a one-parent household home. We come from areas that aren't as elevated as far as economically goes.
The enlisted, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a certain demographic for most. I'm speaking Army right now.
Yeah, the enlisted.
Every
the officers are different. Officers sometimes have they're coming from okay places. They're educated, especially the doctors and all that stuff. But the enlisted are generally people whose life really isn't that valuable.
The recruitment is designed to aim at certain demographics. Designed because it's easier to sell it. I want to aim at a male between 18 and 21, because at 25 a male knows what cause and effect is. It generates mentally. So then that's psychologically, you can look that up.
Yeah.
So I want to sell war to them. I want to sell, if you do this, you get this. So I'll bring out flashy cars. I'll have a recruiter show up to to their house in a Camaro or whatever the newest thing is. He'll be pressed and look really good. Now they don't wear uniforms, so he'll come in nice Nikes or whatever. Like, they're gonna make sure that I can sell war to your son. As far as females, right now, independence pushes, so we're going to make sure we can sell independence to your daughter, right? So I don't want you to think by any means that these students that's coming in are concentrating on your rights as human beings in America. We focus on the check, and we trying to come out that broken environment that we've been in and trying to break that mold and be able to do things for our families that we couldn't have when we were young.
Yes.
That's what it was about.
Yes.
So when we get over there, it's easy for us to bond because we all have that same demographic. We can sit with each other and start talking about, man, I miss mama, I miss grandpa. No, I ain't have my dad or whatever. And we bond on the likelihood of that situation. We're like prisoners. To be honest, if you want to talk about prison, a deployment is prison to a soldier, because we got yard time, but we can't leave the gate unless we get the permission to, and we leave with listen, I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the new age deployers. I'm talking about the ones that went when we didn't have cell phones. We had to get in line and get on the sat phones and hang that sat phone up and pick it up, hang it up and pick it up 50 million times, and you only get a 15-minute call. And you had to walk to the chow hall. We didn't have Applebee's. We didn't have swimming pool. You know what I'm saying? All we had was one another. That was prison, because you could not leave that gate unless your commander got a written notice saying that you was leaving and how long y'all was gone for, and they had to know where you were going. It had to be received by another prison. Like, you had to go from New York Cabal to Pennsylvania Cabal. You get what I'm saying? Which was another enclosure.
You haven't heard my podcast, have you? Because I jumped that fence. I had civilian clothes. I went into town during a motherfucking war. Oh yeah. But I got a couple of. Yeah, I got a couple of stories on my podcast on that when I interviewed Skeet. Yeah, I've had some fun, man. So I can't agree with you. There was nobody in the fucking towers sniping at me. I walked through the fence. I had civilian clothes. Prisons, jails are another kind of thing. They still have slavery. We know there's slavery. You and I are paying taxes to enslave other human beings for exactly what you said, profit. For fucking profit.
So yeah. I think that jails have been set up to be a different situation. You know what I mean? And I think it could be better. I think if we really want to rehabilitate people, we'll put forth these online colleges inside the jails more so. Things like Strayer or University of Phoenix could be online and get those guys educated. But here go the thing. Our laws are set that even if we rehabilitate these people, they don't come out and start fresh. If a felon, here go the thing. We had a young boy on camera And I really gotta take my family somewhere. We had a young boy on camera get pursued by the police officers, right? He drove 2 miles to his grandmother's house and pulled into the driveway. And the grandmother came out to try to defuse the situation. And he put his hands up and laid on the ground, the little boy did. And they charged him with a felony because he did not, one, pull over in the right time, and he did not come to the police officers while they had their guns drawn on that 17-year-old boy. He is now a felon in the United States. A felon. So a felon, if people understand the law, he can't do nothing. One, he already had a strike. And people can have this hard conversation all day. He's a young black male. One, he has a strike already.
Yep.
He already got a strike. His credit score gonna start lower than a white male's would. He gonna get looked at different. He already had a strike. So now that he's a felon, it's gonna make him that much harder. So guess what you just possibly did? You possibly just recruited you a gang member. You possibly just put you another person in prison because he got to live somehow. In an economy that keep getting higher and higher, how are you gonna live if you strike him down? But
you got to have a lot of money to be poor in America.
You refuse to strike down a young white boy who was caught raping a 10-year-old beside a dang on dumpster, and you let him out of jail early and struck his name off the roll so he didn't have a hard life. That's foul. Like, so our laws aren't set for what, you know what I mean, for none of that. So
yeah, you got to go, man. Thank you so much.
Man,
Greatly appreciate this opportunity. Do you want to plug anything you're a part of? Anything you want to throw out there?
Anybody looking, man, I have my own clothing line called Affirm Clothing and Apparel. It's about reinstalling crowns. So I'm about loving everybody. It's not about black and white for me. However, I am black, so don't get it confused. But it's about love. So what I'm trying to do is reinstall crowns.
Where do we find you?
It's
websites.
If you have Instagram, yeah, I got website. I got an Instagram. It's Affirm Clothing Apparel. On Instagram, it's Affirm C on Facebook. I have a Wixie site on online. So if you Google Affirm Clothing and Apparel, it'll pop up.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, man. Greatly appreciate this. I wish you the best.
Y'all be good out there.
I hope all your kids are safe, man. I don't know, man. I'll try and do what we can fucking do. I'm just going to keep talking about it and try and make this fucking world a better place for all of us.
Yeah, man, you had to get on Patreon or something. Because
I am.
They don't
I am.
that bad on there. Okay.
I'm on patreon.com/360stupid. I'm on PayPal if anybody wants to send it in. And once we'll hang up here, I'll finish up the video and plug all my stuff. I just want to let you go to get to your thing.
Patreon pretty open, man.
All right, man. Best of luck. Best of luck to you. All right. I'll talk to you later. Hopefully we'll do another interview some point.
No doubt.
All right.
Be good.
Bye.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. Man. Wow. I'm going to get the camera up here for my podcast listeners. I got the video still running. Here we go. Man. Woo. That was pretty damn intense, huh? Wow. I've been wanting to do a video on this topic for a bit. I didn't know how to, who to talk to, how to interview, what to ask. Man, can you imagine as a parent having to talk to your, I think it's mostly the boys. I'm not sure if they have the family talk with or the talk with the girls, but imagine thinking that if your son gets pulled over, that he might not survive, that he might not live. Imagine having to train your young boys that if a cop comes at you, you have to be the one to stay calm. You're the one that has to stay cool. Not the person that you're paying to protect us all. Not the people that you and I pay to protect us all. No. That's not the person that's going to stay cool and calm. No, you, the person that they're supposed to be serving, all of us, are supposed to stay cool and calm and collective. Damn! What? That's crazy, man. That's just you're fucking crazy. That was intense, man. That was... You are listening to hashtag 360 Stupid. If you're watching online, YouTube, we are on Patreon. Still working that out. If you want to send in donations, volunteers, paypal.me/360 Stupid. We're also on Venmo. I think the Venmo name is Mike Check, MICCCZECH. That's me. And I am the king of stupid. We ask simple questions. That's it. Simple questions to smart people like you. Yamore, battle buddy. Thanks, man. Thanks, and I wish you the absolute best, man, and safety for your children. I can't imagine what it feels like to be a father and to go through that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all other genders, fenders, benders, I am Mike Check, king of stupid. This is hashtag 360 Stupid. We are an informational podcast. We just like to put it out there, and you do with it as you please. I hope this has touched somebody. I hope this has reached out. Man, I'm gonna have some more videos coming up, interviews. You know, damn, I got it good. I got it good. I have it good. I have it really good. Simply because of my skin tone. Simply because of my gender. My life is better. That, ladies and gentlemen, all genders, that is called privilege. White male privilege. Man, I just feel like I gotta end this in a more substantial type of way. Some more... I don't know what to say. I don't know how to end this other than thank you. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Good night, stupid.